I am excited to have a gentleman who is near and dear to my heart. I met him through my wife. He is an amazing, accomplished human engineer. He's a journalist, author, TV and radio host, documentary filmmaker, speaker, and father, 9-time Emmy and Golden Mike Award winner, and a native of New Orleans. More importantly, he's a fellow IT, fellow techie, fellow Mac person, Dr. Eric J. Chambers, Mac Man,
Right.
aka welcome Dr. Eric J. Chambers to the Studeo22Live TV podcast. Hey, sir, how you feeling?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here, Fred. Good to finally get a chance to join your show.
Yeah, we've been going back and forth, man, but it's okay. We finally figured it out. And I'm honored to have you here. I'm honored. You have many accomplishments. I've been following you, and also my wife Iona introduced me because you were from our hometown, and it's just excited to be here. So tell everybody a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm originally from the city that care forgot, New Orleans, Louisiana. And I lived in New Orleans, I think the first 9 to 10 years of my life. And then I moved to Slidell, Louisiana, which is about 25 miles from New Orleans, the suburbs, and was living there. And that's where I joined the military from in 1982.
Wow.
And I've been out here in Southern California this April. In fact, earlier this month, April 2nd, made 39 years ago, I came out here, and this has been home ever since, and this will be home until the end.
That's it.
This is what I dreamed dreams about. You know, when I was a kid living in the projects of New Orleans, man, I remember I was dreaming that one day I would go to California, one day I would be in Hollywood. And I just shared a picture on Facebook a couple of days ago of me when I was 11 years old, pretending then what I do now as a radio television host in Hollywood.
Wow.
And so it is a constant reminder to the people that it's possible, but you have to persist.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people who give up right on the brink, you know, or as my friend Iyanla Van Zandt would say, 5 minutes before the miracle. Yes. And I don't know how many people, Fred, have suggested that I throw in the towel and go get a quote unquote 9 to 5. And I'm like, what the hell is a 9 to 5?
Right. Exactly. What is that?
You want me to go get a 9 to 5 and I got an 8 to 2 a.m. right now.
That's right. Yeah, that's not going to work. 9 to 5 is not going to work, man. To do what I have to do. Wow, that is incredible.
Because I'm a late owl. I'm a night owl. So my creativity happens overnight. And so I'll be up, you know, till 2. I have to make myself go to bed. And then sometimes if it's real good, man, I've pulled overnighters. When it came to editing, I get into that flow.
Yeah, man.
And I only have a couple more hours to go. And I was like, okay, well, I'll finally get to bed at 5:30 in the morning.
Wow.
You know, but man. I want to get it done.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I am, you and I are the same, like getting it done. I feel like if I don't complete it, I don't feel accomplished, and then it kind of pushes me back for the next day. So I'm right with you. What was your biggest inspiration coming up?
My biggest inspiration coming up was, you know, I grew up a New Orleans Saints and a New Orleans Jazz basketball fan.
All right. Shout out to the Saints.
There's a man named Peter Finney, the late Peter Finney. And I met Peter. I met Peter probably in 2010, I believe.
Okay.
And I told him the story, and I got a picture with him. But I told him I used to take his articles out of the New Orleans Times-Picayune newspaper, and I would rewrite them.
Wow.
As my own articles.
Oh.
So instead of saying Pistol Pete Maravich scored 35 points and had 10 assists, and Truck Robinson yanked down 18 rebounds and had 22 points, I would say my brother Lorenzo Chambers had 35 points and 10 assists. And Ernest Caveman Jones, one of my friends, had such and such rebounds. And I told him that story, and it really blessed him. And so what I did is I was able to learn how to, do a lot of what I do, but based on my, a lot of what I do, it was based on me, observation.
Yeah.
And so Peter, he was a
Yeah, that's now
Yeah,
nice.
Peter was a good guy. Let me see if I can get the picture there.
Oh yeah, it's a good picture right there. Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
good. That's clear. That cleared up real nice. Nice.
yeah, that
Wow.
picture is inside the Superdome
Mm-hmm.
and inside the Saints dressing room.
Oh wow,
And so
nice.
Peter died since, but in this industry, you don't need a degree for it. You just need more um, creativity
Mm-hmm.
and observation.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like what I do as a television host.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of my greatest inspirations was Brent Musburger.
Oh yeah.
We were looking
Mhm.
live at the Superdome in New Orleans. And I've
Yes.
yet to meet Brent, but I did meet another inspiration. That was Peter Jennings from World News
Yes.
Tonight.
Oh yeah. World News
And
Tonight.
Peter was smooth as silk.
Mm.
And I had a chance to meet him and chat with him on a couple of occasions when he came to our television station in San Diego at the ABC affiliate. And I would just observe the way that he would deliver the news. He was
Mm-hmm.
always so smooth with it.
Right.
And I just, the Bible says that there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
And so for in this industry, basically, you can learn by observation.
Mm-hmm.
You might like a little bit the way Peter did this, a little bit the way that,
Brent
Ed
did.
did that, a
Yeah.
little bit
Yep.
of the way that this person, ironically, as I think about it, both of these guys are Peter Jennings and Peter Finney,
They're both Peters, right?
Yeah. And so that's the way that I did it. And then when I was 13 years old,
Mm-hmm.
I remember asking my mother, can I apply? I saw this ad in the newspaper in the Slido Daily Century News.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked my mother, could I apply for the position? It was for a sports writer for high school sports.
Okay.
And so what I did is my mom said yes. And so we didn't have a car. And my oldest sister, bless her heart, she was like, well, how are you going to take your article to the newspaper place? We don't have a car. And I
Oh.
thought I'll cross that bridge when I get there. And one of my mother's friends, Bill Purvis, rest his soul, he was a police officer, but Bill, if I'm not mistaken, is the one who took me there to apply.
Wow.
And I'm actually writing my own biopic, and this is part of the opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill took me while I went to apply for the job. And while I was there, the receptionist, she was cool, but she didn't expect a 13-year-old kid.
Right.
And so she was able to still put me through to meet Kevin Cherry, the sports editor.
At
And
13.
and so
Oh
Kevin
wow.
now owns a newspaper in Louisiana called the Slido Independent, but at the
Okay.
time he was a sports editor there. And I think he was like, if you're bold enough to ask me for a job, I'm bold enough to give you one.
I know
I didn't
that's
get the
right.
one that was advertised,
Yeah.
but what he did do is he hired me for $3 an article, and
Mm.
I would go cover